I do my writing, most of it in the morning, usually rewriting in the evening in my study, surrounded by, this book started a golden retriever and a Jack Russell, and now it's a Labradoodle and a Jack Russell, and a very brave cat. There is no technology in the room, apart from the lights. I write longhand with a rollerball, fine point, black ink on the back of Xerox paper.
Previously used.
Previously, the front side is used, and you just keep it and printouts from various things. You can just have a huge stash of that stuff. Eventually, what I write is rewritten and then put on a disc, and you can play with it there.
Who rewrites it?
Well, I rewrite it, and then I give it to my assistant, whose name is Linda Fernandez, and Linda types it into onto the internet. And but the basic creativity for Ellis, if there is such a thing, occurs in the rhythm between my brain motions and the movement of my hand and my wrist. There is some connection there, I believe, and you sometimes if you're really fast typer, you can type too fast. You can type faster than you can think, and that's not good. It produces these pauses. Anyway, I'm obviously very old-fashioned, although some people who accuse me of writing with a quill pen, I don't do that. It works for me. Maybe someday I'll become technologically literate, but I'm trying to keep that as far into the future as possible.
Given the results to date, I would push it far back. People have tried to persuade you to change.
Oh, yeah.
And you have told them no. And I think it's fair to say that for every book they produce, you produce 3, 4, 5. But why do they want you to, what is their alleged reason for wanting you to change, besides technological conformity, I guess?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. And it's like, it's a way of trying to make me do something that I don't want to do out of some petulant academic reason I don't understand. But maybe it's well-intentioned in many instances. Look, Joe, this will make it so much easier for you. And it's because I'm weird, it's singular in this regard, and they would like everybody to be alike.
You know, people have this thought that what's newer is always better. I think not.
Well, I mean, again, I don't want to sound like I'm coming out against technology or the automobile or anything like that. You asked me how I would work, and that's how it is. It's very old-fashioned, but so far it's been successful.
And another thing that I think is hugely important, you read all the stuff yourself.
Yeah, I don't have any research assistants. I have an assistant who takes care of the translating this into print, and sometimes I have students who help me get books. But I've never been able to manage research assistants, primarily because if I already know what to tell them to look for, then I don't need them. And and I also think my eyes have to see it, because what I will see is not the same thing that somebody else will see, in the way of an anecdote, a particular quotation, something that would fly by most research assistants. So it takes a little bit longer in the research phase for me, though the research phase is not totally separate from the writing phase. I found that I have to start writing before I'm really ready in times, because then I'll know where I'm going to head in the next piece of research. So that it's a back and forth kind of thing. Though you have to get a certain foundation of research done so that you pretty much know what the story is before you can really start writing.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.